I am Dr. Pushpa Bindal. In part 8 on electric current, we will be discussing Wheatstone bridge. The learning objective of this part is you will be able to understand the working principle of Wheatstone bridge, what are the merits and applications of Wheatstone bridge. This is the schematic representation of Wheatstone bridge. As you can see here, it is an arrangement of 4 resistances P, Q, R and S. 3 of them are known and 1 resistance is an unknown resistance. We can find out unknown resistance in terms of the other 3 resistances. Now, let us identify the different parts. P and Q, these are adjustable resistances. Generally, when you perform the experiment, you keep them in certain ratio, but they are known resistances. Similarly, R is an adjustable, a variable known resistance. S is an unknown resistance, the value of which is to be determined. This is a galvanometer which is connected in the circuit. These are keys which are connected in the circuit which can cause the current to flow or not flow in the circuit. You have a battery which provides a certain voltage and this rheostat just controls the amount of current passing through the circuit. Now, you can see here when you connect these resistors like this point B, the potential at point B and the potential at point D, that will depend on the voltage drops across these resistors. The potential drop at point B, you can have 3 possibilities. Either it can be greater than what you have here, or it can be less than what you have here, or it can be same at point B and D. When you close the keys, the current flows, and these are the 3 possibilities that we have discussed. When VB, the potential at B, when the potential at B is greater than potential at D, then current flows through the galvanometer and the galvanometer will move in a certain direction. Then when the potential at B is less than the potential at D, then current will again flow, but the direction will be opposite and the galvanometer will show a deflection in the opposite direction. When the potential at B is equal to the potential at D, then obviously no current will flow through this part of the circuit and the galvanometer will not show any deflection. Now, when there is no deflection through the galvanometer, we say we have achieved the null condition of the galvanometer, and we also say that the Wheatstone bridge is in a state of balance. In null condition, what happens? In null condition, this potential at B is equal to the potential at D, and this will happen when the potential drop across P is equal to the potential drop across R. What the potential drop across P is what? I1 into P, and the potential drop across R is what? I3 into R. So, when I1P is equal to I3 into R, we say thus bridge is balanced. But you can see from the circuit diagram that I1 is equal to I2 plus Ig, first rule, and I4 is equal to I3 plus Ig. Now, in the balance condition, because there is no current through the galvanometer, so Ig is equal to 0. So, what do you get? You get I1 is equal to I2 and I4 is equal to I3. Fine. Now, you can similarly discuss the other loop. You can similarly, if this is balanced, if VB is equal to VD, then automatically we also have the potential drop across Q has to be equal to the potential drop across S. So, you can say that I2 into Q will be equal to I4 into S, right. So, if you divide equation A by equation B, what was equation A? This equation I1P is equal to I3 into R. And what is equation B? I2Q is equal to I4 into S. So, when you divide equation A by equation B, you get I1P divided by I2Q is equal to I3R divided by I4S. But since I1 is equal to I2 and I3 is equal to I4, so they disappear and you obtain what is popularly known as the balance condition or the null condition of a Wheatstone bridge. And what is that? P by Q is equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. So, this simply gives you a formula for determining the unknown resistance S in terms of the other three known resistors Q, R and P. So, we have been able to obtain the value of an unknown resistor in terms of the other three resistors by obtaining the balance condition in a Wheatstone bridge. Now, the merits of the Wheatstone bridge is that if you change the battery voltage, it does not disturb on the balance condition. You already have seen the balance condition, there is no voltage appearing here. You only have ratio of the resistances. So, that means even if you need to change the battery, it will not disturb the null condition. Then the other merit is that galvanometer only indicates the null condition. It does not affect the accuracy of the measurement. Now, you also define a very important parameter, and that is called sensitivity of a bridge. What is meant by sensitivity of the bridge is that if you make small changes in your null condition, then is the bridge able to sense or detect that change? If it is able to detect smaller changes, we say the bridge is more sensitive, and that is certainly a desirable feature of any bridge. So, the Wheatstone bridge is most sensitive when all the four resistors are of comparable values. When P is approximately equal to Q is approximately equal to R is approximately equal to S. So, you want a very sensitive bridge, you keep these four resistances of the same order. Now, let us study an example where we can apply the concept of Wheatstone bridge and obtain the value of an unknown resistor. The question given is, you are given a Wheatstone bridge here, you have these four resistors, right? R is an unknown resistor. What is the change here? Instead of a galvanometer, there is a resistor of 50 ohm connected shown here, and there is a battery which causes the current flow. The question is, calculate the value of R shown when there is no current in the 50 ohm resistor. Now, when there is no current, then obviously the circuit is in the balanced condition. So, it does not matter whether you have attached a 50 ohm resistor here or a galvanometer here. So, if there is no current in this 50 ohm, then the bridge is balanced. So, if the bridge is balanced, then the condition will be what? 20 by 10 will be equal to 40 by R. That gives the value of R, and you can see it is 20 ohms. So, using the concept of Wheatstone bridge, we have been able to determine the value of the unknown resistor. So, what have we learnt here? We have learnt the working principle of Wheatstone bridge. We have also learned the merits and applications of the Wheatstone bridge. Thank you.